Like, I just never seen the point of like having a couple.
Did it used to be just full on?
It's almost like impossible for the body to be able to withstand all of that anyway.
I'd love to talk to you or get your opinion about alcohol culture in cricket. Can you tell me how you feel about that?
Yeah, so I mean, look, you look back to the 90s, early 2000s, some unbelievable, you got these lads who tell some unbelievable stories, aren't they, around it, and it's one of these things with cricket that's like, you have a hard day in the dirt and then, have a couple of beers with your mates in the dressing room and then you go again. It's one of them, I think it's definitely like settled down a lot over the years, the social side of cricket, because the game's become way more, I don't think way more professional is the right word, but because there's more demand on the body than there was, say, 15, 20, 25 years ago. There's so much more cricket, there's so much more in the schedule that it's almost like impossible for the body to be able to withstand all of that anyway without, the downsides of what, a couple of beers at the end of the day can do to you for the next day. So it's definitely changed a lot, but at the end of a tough day, nesting into a nice cold pint, with especially like being a bowler, like if you've bowled 20 overs and you've got the other lad over there who's like bowled 20 overs and you're both getting a rub down and you're stiff and you're like, cheers mate, good day, that, like tough. It's, there's nothing better than having like a nice cold pint. But I think the overall side of cricket has definitely changed, got way better, and there's not as much of it that goes on maybe to the certain extent that it used to.
Did it used to be just full on?
I wouldn't say it was like full on, but I think there was more of a there was more of it done, and to be honest, I just think they were way better at it than us these days. They could like hearing all the talking about these stories like Ian Botham, like back in his day, what he used to be able to do, like, and I think that was just what it was like back then. And as I said, like nowadays it's just completely different, and the younger generation, there isn't that same mindset towards having a beer or going out or whatever it may be. Like there's just so much more emphasis put on proper preparation, better recovery. You speak to a 16, 17-year-old now who's trying to make it in professional sport, and you compare that to a 16, 17-year-old maybe 20, 25 years ago. She's like complete polar opposites about what they think is right and what they think is wrong.
There has been a monster shift in alcohol consumption in the younger generation. Statistically, an awful lot less than millennials and boomers and other generations, older generations, 70-80% less over the last couple of years, the data that we receive at CleanCo anyway. I believe that that's primarily driven by a desire to experience things instead of a desire to be social in that way. Social structures and the way people spend their time is changing. People would rather pay for an experience and something that they can remember and something that they can share, importantly, rather than a headache, and a time that we probably enjoyed. Well, I certainly did over the years. It's shifted. I think a lot of that is to do with social media as well. People, live online now. The younger generation in particular live online, put their best foot forward, and being drunk, often isn't a part of your best self. It'd be pretty difficult to argue that being drunk is fun. The journey to getting drunk, perhaps, more so. But that's interesting in sport. What you see that as captain of England, young people in academies, well, they're just drinking less.
Yeah, like totally listening to you there. Like it's just the difference in like society now, especially towards just like everything, like social media. Like I got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and Jesus Christ, any opportunity, they're just like at their phone. I'm like, can you go and do this job for me? And they're like, yeah, walking away, like doing the job, and then and I'm just like, oh my God, please just get off your phone.
Sleep is the most impactful and natural performance-enhancing tool at our disposal. Without it, my body would simply not be able to recover and repair itself after I go for a run or a workout. It is essential to maintaining and enhancing our well-being. With Whoop, I'm able to track my sleep every single night and how it affects the type of activities I choose to do the following day. Think of sleep as your bank balance. The best thing is that every single day you get the chance to deposit more into the bank so that in the long term, you withdraw in the form of energy expenditure when you need it most. Whoop breaks down sleep so as to take the guesswork out of the equation. Not only do you get guidance each day around how much sleep you need based on your activity that day and what your optimal time to go to bed is, but with Whoop, you get a detailed analysis of the quality of your sleep and what you can do to be improving it. In addition to monitoring your sleep, you'll also get detailed insights into your recovery, stress levels, strain, and feedback on how your lifestyle choices impact each of these metrics. If you are interested in taking control of your health and wellness so that you can excel in all aspects of your life, you have to go and check out Whoop. Go to join.whoop.com/untapped to try Whoop for free for 30 days today.
The change in it is, it's like, it's happening in front of your like eyes. You can see it when you're out and about and stuff like that, can't you? It's mad. But yeah, like I've spent some time, especially recently actually, I was out in Abu Dhabi on a young Lions camp, which is almost like the next England players. So I was out there doing some rehab just to change my environment. And that's sort of, you got like some guys who are sort of on the fringe of the England team, but then you got some other guys who are really young, and they're just whole outlook on what life is so different. Like if I was in Abu Dhabi at their age, I'd be like, right, here we go. And like, we're going to go to the water park, like we're going to do this all day and stuff, and like it's just completely different. But that's the last thing I'll be thinking about if I was like 17, 18 in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, you know. But yeah, it's just different, and there definitely is just this. Don't want to do it, do they? I just don't see the point in it.
No, I suppose as parents, it's in some ways quite welcome. You know, I feel like I wasted a lot of my time when I was, you know, between the ages of maybe 16 and 28, you know, drinking to excess very regularly. You know, I try not to regret stuff in life, but it's probably one of my biggest regrets that I didn't develop a slightly more disciplined mindset early on. And, you know, I'm proud, I suppose, of where things are now. And, you know, would love to talk to you. I know that you have recently made some healthier decisions for yourself around alcohol. What spurred that on? Yeah,
like, I mean, God, I've got mirror that. Like when I was younger, you know, like the relationship I had back with booze and I was younger, it was like I just never seen the point of like having a couple. It was like I'm all or nothing. Like I can't have one or two. If I have one, then I'm out. And that's what it was like with me. And like, again, well, you said there, like, do I regret having like these? I'm just like, I don't know. Because like, there's been some times like in nights out where everyone was, I just can't remember what happened in the last 2 hours. I've never really thought like ill of it back then. Whereas now, like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to get into that state. Like, because when I was like, you know, going out and having like a great time and having these like huge nights out, I was with like all my mates and stuff like that. And it was, and you're right, what you said, it's the process to get into there is the fun bit. It's then when you get like two, you're just like, wow, it's just a waste of 2-3 hours. I can't remember what I did. But now I've got to like, I've got a much better like just relationship with it. You know, I can sit there and have a social drink, you know, like I never even, like, it used to drive my wife, Claire, mad that I would just be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we'll go out for a nice dinner and like, she'd like, oh, Ben, you want to have a glass of wine? I'd be like, nah, I'll just have a soft drink.
Yeah.
And like, I never really understood why it was so frustrating to her because like, but all she wants to do is just like share a glass of wine with her husband when we're out for like a nice dinner or whatever it was. But I was like, nah, I'm not having one. What's the point? I was having one alcoholic drink. Whereas now, I get it, I understand it, and I can appreciate like having a nice glass of wine or like a nice pint or a cocktail, whatever it is, and I can just sit there and enjoy it for what it is, not just going, this is going to get me pissed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I used to be like, my relationship like was with alcohol. But now I remember we had a family holiday over. We had New Year in Cape Town. Every night we'll go out for a lovely dinner, and I'll just sit there and we'll both have a glass of wine. We'll go back. We'll have another drink at the bar. Both go to bed, and I was like, "Oh, that's class! Like, why have I only just worked this out now?"